I'm the computer man. I'm the Macintosh man with the virus scan. Moving your files all across the land. Some Photoshop filters and After Dark. Get your Microsoft Office, express your quark. Millions of colors with a VRAM chip. How about a system crash that'll make you flip? I'm the computer man. I'm saying Windows 95 is plug and pray. If it's fonts you want, you gotta go to Macway. Log right on as my personal guest. You'll have Macintosh software on your desk. Send me an email with your request. If it's hardware you want, baby, I'm the best. I'm the computer.
Good evening, Case-Quid listeners. Good evening, Santa Cruz, Monterey, Central Coast, and beyond. My name's Luigi Oppido, owner-operator of Pleasure Point Computers, right by the beach here in beautiful Santa Cruz, California. And for the next hour, I am your tour guide into a world of wonder, magic, information, and a lot of frustration. That's right, we're talking about the internet and the world of computing. I am your computer man. Welcome, one of the most helpful, friendly tech counters I hope you've ever visited. I'd like to welcome you to your Tuesday night, to your local radio station, your local KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid, 89.5, 89.7, and 90.7 FM, and always online at ksqd.org, which you can now reach with our new app. Jump onto the App Store and the Apple App Store or the Google Play App Store and download our app. It's awesome. It's way easier to use than maybe jumping online. It's a quick one-button press and boom, K-Squid is yours. Right there on your phone, your favorite mobile device, iPad, whatever you've got that has a screen that will let you get apps from the App Store or the Google Play Store. Check it out. Really cool. But I'm stoked to be here with you tonight. Oh, we have so many things to talk about, so many cool things going on in the world of computing, as well as some of the bad things that are going on in the world of computing. Some ways we can go here and there. I've got a whole list of cool software we're going to be talking about, and of course our email questions, etc., and some of the scams that are going on right now, which are all hitting us from left and right now. We are in the holiday season. It's going to be hitting us really heavy. So before we get into it, of course, you say to yourself anytime this guy's talking a little bit quick, which was me, jump onto our website, ksqd.org, and under there we have a listening tab, and under the listening tab is a 2-week audio archive where you can listen to any of our shows from the past 2 weeks and check them out for yourself. So check out Talk of the Bay, or even in the morning if you're listening to like Amy Goodman with Democracy Now, or Reveal, or any of the songs, any of the things we have in the morning, or any of our shows maybe late at night that you might miss. You can catch it all, ksqd.org, and you can listen at your heart's content whenever you like. Sometimes I feel like some Hawaiian music, so I'll jump on the website if the Hawaiian show isn't on. I'll listen to the last week's Hawaiian show, and it's great. So it's a great resource that we have, and it's all yours, ksqd.org. While you're there, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. Here's that pitch. That's right. Here it comes. It's that big, giant, red, candy-like button at the top. That is our donate button. That is our most important feature of ksqd.org, because that allows us to be here. Allows me to be here for you. I have a place I can come into and talk to you about all this computer stuff. Couldn't do that without you. And I mean, thank you so much for that. We need to keep it going. Click on that donate button, make it reoccurring, and we would love to hear from you about it. Also, you can fill a little thing telling us what you like about KSQD and what you'd like to hear about it. So jump on there, donate, and thank you. We all appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. We love you. All right. If you'd like to reach out to me after the show, you can always hit me up by email, Luigi, Luigi, at ksqd.org. Oh, and today is actually Giving Tuesday, it looks like. Pretty cool. All right, very good. So also, so if you're jumping on, you want to get a hold of us today, we have my email here. We can actually jump on to onair at ksqd.org. That's our little, that's our inbox here at the station that I have up and running. You also give me a call, 831-900-5773. That's 831-900-KSQD. That's our phone number here. So how nice that spells out for us. And it's a really easy way just to get to us, get to the station. And if you have a question today at the show, this is free, man. This is what we do here. This is your hour. I'm going to squeeze about an hour and 45 minutes worth of information into it. And if you have a phone call, the question, comment, concern, things that are going on your machine, I'd love to hear from you at 831-900-5773. Of course, if you stumbled across this show for the first time, welcome. But what are we going to be talking about for the next hour? Well, we're going to be talking about updates, new devices, testimonials, scams, and of course, our call-ins, everything that's going on your bench, going across my bench, what I've seen for the past week or the past month or whatever's going on in the current world of computing. We're going to be talking about that. We're here every Tuesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. And again, our phone number, 831-900-5773, or online at ksqd.org. Yes. Okay. So yesterday was Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday was the standard day for getting deals on electronics and stuff like that. And there was some stuff out there, nothing really super great to write home about, because the things that were on Cyber Monday were also on Black Friday, which is now a week and then turns into a month and whatever. But now is Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is one of the things that we can use to give back. So today would be a great day to jump on. And actually, if you go to santacruzgives.org/KSQD, you can actually jump on there and give towards an organization here in Santa Cruz. And then they split that donation with us. So we can actually, get some from that giving fund and allow us to expand our station into, we really actually are trying to build a podcasting station out in Watsonville. And that way some of the people that are out in Watsonville can have a resource to jump on, and we can hear from we can have farm report shows. We can have all sorts of stuff that is going on, like talk about the Strawberry Festival and all the amazing things that Watsonville brings to our community. And we're trying to open a studio out there. So something like that would give towards that. But today is Giving Tuesday, and today's the best day to do it. So open up your wallets, open up your hearts, and jump on there to the to santacruzgives.org/KSQD. All right. Well, moving on along with all this good stuff, let's talk about scams, because we're going to get in that. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so at first, let me see, I have a couple that I actually want to talk about. There was, first, of course, there is, I want to talk about, we talked about it a little bit, the Daisy, the AI chatbot, right? And Daisy was it's made by Virgin Media. Virgin Media is like a Virgin Airlines and all that stuff, the red sign with Richard Branson. And he decided, or their company, Virgin Media, made a program called Daisy. And this program is literally something, if you were in Europe, I think anywhere in the European Union, if you get a call from some type of scam or anything like that, and you want to get out from that scam, or you want to get, you want to pass it along, or make sure, there's a way to get out of it in Europe. You can actually forward the phone number to this Daisy. It's really something. So I wanted to actually play some of it, because we had talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and I finally found an example of this Daisy actually working and functioning here. So I'm going to just play this real quick for you. You can listen in and see what you think of this. So here we go. Give it a good listen.
Sorry, they dialed.
All right.
Scammers will be sorry they dialed this number.
So W's then a dot.
3 times W and then dot.
Daisy may sound like a nice elderly lady, but she's actually an AI-generated answering machine that turns the annoyance of robocalls back onto the caller.
It's showing me a picture of my cat, Fluffy.
Daisy is employed by the fraud department at London-based Virgin Media O2. They tell CBS News she's taken about 1,000 calls since she started answering the phones a month ago.
The reason why we used AI is because it doesn't sleep, it doesn't eat. You can use it 24 hours a day.
It's really something, so that was an example of some of it. I actually found another video that was really good, talking about showing the video and the way that she talks in a number of examples. This is actually the video. Here, let me see if we can find this one. Here we go. So let's go through this, and I want to actually talk to you about. Here we go.
Hello, scammers. I'm your worst nightmare. I'm an AI created by O2 to waste phone scammers' time. So W's then a dot.
3 times W and then dot.
I think your profession is bothering people, right?
I'm just trying to have a little chat.
It's nearly been an hour! For the love of...
Gosh, how time flies. It's showing me a picture of my cat, Fluffy.
It's showing you the picture of your cat, Fluffy.
Stop calling me dear, you stupid...
Ooh, got it, dear. Because while they're busy talking to me, they can't be scamming you. And let's face it, dear, I've got all the time in the world.
It's fantastic. So that is literally the truth. There's you get a phone call in Europe, and it's a scammer. And so then you hit like pound number, like 7543 or something. There's a number that they give you. And with that number, it transfers to this lady. So basically you answer the phone, they start their spiel, and you transfer them while they're in the middle of their spiel. They're still talking, and the phone doesn't ring on the other side, just literally transfers to this lady. And then they start talking to the lady, which is then being fed the AI script from the people, right? The people that are scamming, and it adapts. It's read thousands and thousands and thousands of scam reports and how people are scammed and scripts and all sorts of stuff, and it's learned from that. And they produce this lady to respond in that way, and it's slow and kind of monotonous. And you can hear the guy saying, "No, 3 W's and a dot." He's 3 W's and a dot. And you're like, oh, it's just painful. And again, that's how the reason why I had people send me the same stuff is exactly that same reason. If they're out there scamming me, they're not scamming you. So if they're taking their time, wasting their time with me, who I know who they are, and they're not going to get anything from me, I just take up as much time as I can with them, they're not going to be going out and maybe possibly tricking you and thinking that something is legit. So this is Daisy. We do not have an equivalent right now in the United States of something like Daisy, but it is hopefully coming soon. I think this would be something that would not be too difficult to implement, and it would be something that, if you got it correctly, could be done at the state level. And it would be something that would just be a service where you could literally just transfer the phone call as you get a scam. Now, it'd be funny if you start doing that to people you don't want to get phone calls from or something. I think that's more of the American way. But yeah, so I think it's a great service. It's really this is a great way to use AI. This is a great way to use AI. So it's an AI chatbot designed to intentionally waste the time of phone scammers by pretending to be an elderly woman who is easily confused and talks about irrelevant topics like her cat or knitting. So it's great. So there is no active bot used in the United States yet at this point. So hopefully we get something soon, because that's a great idea. And that would be something that, if there's just some way that you even if you think it's something that's not real, you can just send them off to another phone line, and it would take care of itself, kind of, in that way. Okay, let's see. What are any other scams for today? Because that's always fun, and get those out of the way. Oh, here, let's see. I've got my little pile. Let's see, any other scams? Oh, yes. This one I have heard a couple times from a couple people in different ways, but it's always, like a relative or something, and it's usually someone who has confided in the family member, right? So it's not something that like they're telling everybody about or something. It's something that usually like they kind of keep secret, and then they will kind of release it out to somebody, right? So this person said, my mom invited a celebrity to stay. So my mom is inviting a celebrity to stay at my parents' house. You're like, okay. And she said, yesterday Thanksgiving, my mom pulled me aside to tell me she has made friends online with Rick Lagina, or like Lagina. And I looked him up, and he has a TV show about mining an island full of gold or something, and Oak Island. And it's an Oak Island reality show personality, and he's coming to stay at their house around Christmas. They've been talking online for about a year. Apparently, he's a millionaire and just needs to get away from the people hounding him to make friends for his money. And supposedly he's coming back to look at property to buy and to get away from everyone. They're picking him up from the airport and giving him a room at their house. My mind is blown. Red flags all over the place, but my mom is emotionally invested in their friendship and doesn't want to hear concerns about the situation. And somehow my dad is on board with all of it. A quick Google search only confirmed her suspicion, and a search on Facebook where she initially made contact. There are hundreds of accounts for this one dude. My mom's not very tech or social media savvy, so she thinks she's managed to reach the real guy, the real human. And this person's like, I have so many questions. Why is a millionaire afraid of people taking advantage of him, but yet meeting up and staying with a complete stranger? Why is he not renting his own car? Why is he not staying in a nice hotel or rental? Is he just going to drive around and find real estate signs or whatever, look for sale signs with like no real estate agent? My mom also wants to keep everything hush-hush and says he has not asked her for anything yet. So the person's like, I'm at a loss. My sibling is just as concerned as I am. I don't know what we can make to make them see this long con. Again, it's probably a pig butchering thing where you invest the time in the person, and at the very end they ask for money. But do I get a private investigator? I don't have time to do research and investigate this guy, and Christmas is literally a few weeks away. And so, okay, first, let's ask ourselves: Is this guy coming? No, he's most likely not. Almost definitely, but no, he's not coming. Second, is he going to ask for money? Yes, probably. Probably because he's been robbed of all of his cash and his ID, and he needs to make a loan to get on the plane or something like that, right? And then, so I would prep your family, prep your mom, your dad for potential Cash App things, Venmo things, money things, gift card things, things that are going to come across like that. Something that's going to be like, oh, I need, man, I got all this money, but man, it's all tied up right now. And I just, if I could just get like $5,000, no worries, I could just send it right back to you. No problems, no big deal. And it's one of those things, right? So, yeah, or it's going to be one of those whole like, don't tell anybody or I'll be killed. They do things like that too, where it goes all of a sudden to the 9th degree, where you're like, oh my gosh, like actually I was coming to the United States. I said I was going to buy some property, but there's people chasing me, and and like just the story just goes nuts. Anything to get that money out of you. So heads up with that. That's probably coming. But yeah, celebrity at Thanksgiving, celebrity at Christmas. There are a number of people. I mean, I read these scam reports, and I was reading this one story about this lady it was someone who worked at a retail store, and the lady would come in and buy like $250 worth of Sephora gift cards, the makeup company, but not once or not twice, but did it like, twice a day for 3 weeks, and then came back the next month and did the same thing where she was buying, $750 worth a day of these gift cards, and then coming back. And then when the store employees who are trained to watch for stuff like this now, and they're actually kind of, I don't know if they're trained to ask or they're kind of encouraged to just be like, hey, like, what do oh, you're doing something fun with the money? Like bank tellers are trained to do, where you're supposed to kind of like, oh, blah, 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 and then watch how they respond. If they're like, oh, yeah, or they're like, no, this is for some, you can see if someone's being screwed with, right? And evidently this lady was coming in and they kept asking, oh, no, it's for my daughter. It's for my sister. It's for my aunt. It's for my da-da-da. It's for this. It's for this. Always a quick answer and out the door. So is she being scammed? Most likely. Or the elderly couple that goes into the bank that needs to pull $30,000 cash now. You're like, okay. And they did that again last month too. And everything's been to a tune of like $100,000 because it has something to do with like a Bitcoin ATM where they're putting the money in an ATM and it's going to turn into a Bitcoin investment for something else, but they're giving someone else the code that actually is the Bitcoin, and their Bitcoin gets transferred out and then they don't have it. It's crazy. There's crazy things going on. So again, for you not to be the next victim, if any of this stuff sounds familiar, or someone's pressuring you to make a deposit, make this deposit immediately, make this deposit right now, either to repair the virus on your computer, to protect a hacked account, to pay a bill or avoid arrest, or are you on the phone right now with someone telling you what to do? Not with me, but, and say, were you told to lie to anybody about the reason about sending money? And if yes, most likely you are being scammed. And that could be something that's coming across, and just to watch for it. So, and the cryptocurrency stuff is basically irreversible. So that's why they like to use it. It works really well. So I'm getting a call right now, 831-26, or actually it's 831-900-5773. Love to hear what's going on in your world. We got a caller. Let's see what's going on out in theirs. Hello, caller. You're on with the computer man. How can I help you?
Hey, thanks. I have a thought about what you were talking about, the two kids whose mother's getting supposedly this guest coming and all that stuff.
Yeah.
My suggestion, Dr. Phil has several episodes about people who were royally scammed. And they bring the people on, and they're really unsuspecting, and they're shocked, and the whole thing gets blown open, all that stuff. I think that'd be a great thing for that woman's kids to send her. Episodes of that or something, because it really, like, you really get to see a person who believes the whole thing, see it dawning on them, seeing the disillusionment and all that stuff. So anyway, that's my thought about that.
That's a great idea. You said you had another question?
Oh, yeah. Do you have any thoughts about what I just said, or?
I think actually, that's a great idea. Actually, if we want to just talk about it just for a second, it's just that extra education, right? Because right now, the only thing that I can find, the only thing that I can do to get people to understand this stuff is just blatant over and over education, and just showing them example after example after example, and breaking through that wall. And you're absolutely right. A show that might be, just coming at a different angle with almost exactly that same story, and to show it all spelled out, that would be great. I'm going to look it up and I'm going to forward it along. That's a great suggestion. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. What I like about it is that it takes you actually see the person go from innocence and complete belief, and the whole process of them waking up and denial and all that stuff at first, but then they realize that they've been scammed for sometimes years.
Yeah. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. Okay, so my computer question is, I have a couple of, mostly one, I guess, a MacBook Pro that's pretty old.
Okay.
That I completely forgot the password. I set it aside. I haven't used it.
Okay.
But I know it's got stuff on the hard drive that I want.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Is there anything I can do to get into it?
Yes. In fact, so you'll be able to get into it and get to your files. You won't be able to get to any of the passwords for any of the accounts, but you can absolutely get into the device. So what you're going to do is you're going to basically have the machine completely off, turn it off, plug into power so you know you have battery or life or anything, and then you're going to hold down the command button and the letter R for like recovery. So the command button and letter R, and you're going to hold those two buttons down, and you're just going to hit the power button like you normally do to turn the machine on. Or if you have one of those Macs that turns on when you open it, as soon as you open the screen, hold down the command and the R button, and then you're going to hear the Apple bong, the bong. You're going to have to hear it. You're going to still hold command and R. Keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. You're going to see the Apple logo. Keep holding it for about 10 seconds after you see the Apple logo, and then release it. That's going to boot into the recovery menu. Under the recovery menu, you're going to it's going to ask you if you want to reinstall or go to disk utility. At the very top, there's going to be a utilities selection, like the file bar and the file bar, or the title bar or toolbar up there. You're going to hit utilities, and you're going to go to terminal. And you go, oh my gosh, now we're getting into terminal. We're going to type something. All you have to do is remember the phrase reset password, because that's what you want to do. You want to reset your password. So if you remember just that simple word, reset password, but you type it in as one word, no space. Reset password, all one word. You hit enter on terminal. It's going to go to the next line and sit there for a second, and then it's going to pop up a password reset dialog box. At that point, it's going to tell you one of two things. It's going to go, hey, you've got a local password. Would you like to reset it? And you go, yeah, I do. Type in your new password. That's your new password. Done. Or it's going to say, hey, this machine is tied to an Apple ID, and you can reset the password using your Apple ID. And at that point, then you click on that, and it would take you through that. If it's an older Mac, which I think it sounds like it is, you're going to go to this reset password thing, type in the new password, hit done, restart the computer. It's going to go to your login prompt. You're going to type in that new password. Boom, you're in, all your files, everything. But your keychain that had all of your passwords to all your websites, logins, Facebook, all that kind of stuff, that is still encrypted under the old password and will not be able to be unlocked until you have that old password, or it just sits there forever, never being used. So you'll get access to your files, but not the passwords and access. And if you think about it, that's kind of a good thing if someone were to grab your stuff. So that's what you do, though. That would be the easiest way. And if you get stuck, you can always email me, and I'm happy to type that out for you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that computer shows up in my Apple ID, like in my Apple account.
And it could be, depending on the age of the operating system, that could matter, or it doesn't matter. Because you can have an older machine that has an older operating system that is signed in with an Apple ID, but doesn't have any login stuff that's tied with the Apple ID. That would happen around around the Monterey time, like 10:15 and around 11:01 is when that happened. So if it was before that, you won't even need to deal with it. You just reset the password. You're in the machine like in 5 minutes. If it's the other way, you got a couple more steps to go through, but you can still recover it through your Apple ID. You have your iPhone with you, or or another machine, and you get the code sent through back and forth. Type in the code, reset your password. You're all good.
Okay, sounds good. I'm actually driving right now, so I could I could listen to this again.
Yes, ksqd.org. You just hit our website up, and under the listening tab, there's going to be a 2-week audio archive. The show will show up about an hour after I'm done tonight.
Perfect. All right, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for listening, man. I appreciate it.
I've taken my computers to you before. I really appreciate your service and your attitude and working with you.
Thanks, man. Oh, we'll try to keep it up.
All right, great.
All right. Take care. Have a great drive. Have a great drive. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Open line for you here at 831-900-5773 as I turn myself off instead of the caller. Whoops. Even the computer man makes mistakes. So here we are, 831-900-5773. I'd love to hear from you tonight. We're almost at our half-an-hour break. But again, like with the scam stuff, wow. It's everywhere, and now we're in the holidays. It's gonna start hitting you. I've already started getting your UPS package is not showing up. Your USPS package is not showing up. All those text messages we've been receiving for more than half a decade. They're still coming because they still get people. So they wouldn't keep sending them if they didn't get people. So don't be one of the people, right? Try to keep it up. Stay away. Okay. Also, another one that I just want to go over real quick before we go to break. If the bank calls you get a call from the bank, hang up and call them back. I know that sounds silly and annoying and actually really time consuming, but it's important. Evidently, I talked with somebody who works at the bank, actually came to the shop, talked to me, and they said basically in the last month, they have dealt with an upsurge in claims where people are sharing their one-time passwords, those little codes you get sent over from your cell phone, with people who are not real. And it's not like, oh, it's like, a little man doing stuff like this, little lady type thing. It's like young adults, professionals, middle-aged business owners, and people like you and me. So if someone calls you claiming to be from the bank, hang up, call them back. Really easy to do. And if you stay on the line, don't say anything, just listen. Because a lot of times what they'll do is they're waiting for something to be said back, right? Or if they're just listen to what they're saying, try to remember it, get off the phone, call them back. And that way you could use the same phrase and the bank would go, no, that's not the case. But if you're scared now, and because they're saying your account is at risk, question them and resist a little bit. Unfortunately, as gross as it is, a lot of these people who are doing these scams, there's a lot of proof to say that a lot of them are not doing it willingly, that they're either they're trafficking victims or whatever, and they have a quota that they have to meet. So unfortunately, if you start questioning them, start wasting a little bit more of their time, they become irritable very quickly, and it becomes apparent that if someone's getting mad at you over the phone, that it's most likely not a business or a corporation, right? So you can kind of judge on that and be like, okay, this is just a human trying to screw with me. I can either continue or hang up. Okay. If you choose to converse out of curiosity, you're still in serious danger of being scammed, right? And when they send you an SMS code that comes through that says, do not share this code, I think you should not share the code. That's really important. Take it seriously. Yeah. And if you've handed over your details, call your bank back immediately and verify the interaction. So if you've done that, and the bank actually, now they're saying that they're expecting people to hang up randomly. All these random things that you would kind of do with the scammers, the banks are also expecting that and be like, no, we'll give you the extra time to prove that we are who we are, because there's so much stuff going on out there. So, and people are still going to interact with scammers. They're still going to give all their money away. It's still going to happen. Even the most competent person, the most tech-savvy person, people are tricky, and the social engineering is strong and is rampant. But even if one of you out there is listening and takes that as a takeaway, it's important and it's worth it. I wish that there were more. I wish that when you got an account, that it forced you to sit down and watch like a 10-minute orientation video or something before you can access your money. Something like that. I know it sounds, you're like, oh my gosh, but we have to learn how to drive out in the street, and we can really get hurt. We can really get hurt online with our money. And granted, we're not, piloting a 4,000-pound block of metal. At the same time, your financial knowance and stability and your overall mentality of sanity is important, and is counting on this and making sure that you're going to stick with it. So I wish that there was more literature. I wish there was more education. I wish there was ways to get to people to be like, hey, don't click on this stuff. But I'm still going to people's homes almost every day in town here and talking with people who have been scammed, who have been swindled. And unfortunately, a lot of them happen. Sometimes they're been my customers for years. Oh, I didn't want to bother you. Oh, I didn't want to. I'm like, dude, bother me. This is what I do. Please ask me a question for 3 seconds. Send me an email saying, hey, is this real? I have a client that sends me an email almost every day, because he has Xfinity email, and Xfinity just lets everything come through. So he sends me his email. Hey, is this fake? Hey, is this voicemail fake? Hey, is this real? Hey, is this real? And I get them almost every day, and I just write back, fake, good eye. This one's fake. It's fake. See, look at the email address. Look at this one. This is how I recognize. And I'll send him a little back if he wants to know why. But I get one every day. Be one of those people. Email me. And you can email me at the shop, Luigi at pleasurepointcomputers.com. I'd love to hear from you. Our website, pleasurepointcomputers.com as well. You can reach me there through our little form on our website. But if you see something that's weird, forward it along to me. I will let you know if it's not. And all of this stuff is not time sensitive to the second. That's one of the biggest things. If you can take 2 seconds and just not react, look at the best thing I've done, I say that and everyone's like, oh my gosh, no, I'm in it. Look at the time when you received the email. Was it in the middle of the night last night? Was it this morning and now it's noon? If so, it's already been 3 or 4 hours. Why do you have to react to it right now, right? And it's all words until you're in it, right? But if I do that to myself, I'm telling that more for myself than anything too, because I'll see something and I'll go, oh my gosh. But I'll look at the time and be like, okay, that was like 4 hours ago. I've been at work for 2. they have my work number because it's this organization or whatever. They could have called me and they didn't. So if it's really pressing, they would have gotten a hold of me another way, right? If it's really real and really going down the way this email is saying that everything's going down, they would have called me, they would have reached out in some other way, and they haven't, right? So you can just, that's, again, I'm saying it for myself too, everybody, because that's how we see it. So, okay, we're about halfway through here on the Computer Man Show with your host, me, Luigi Oppido from Pleasure Point Computers. This is the halfway point in the Computer Man Show at KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid 90.7 FM, and online at ksqd.org. That means that it's 6:30, and that means it's time for Penny to feed Smudge and Penny to feed Enzo. So thank you, everyone. Love you both out there. Love you, everyone that's listening to the show. And we're going to go to a quick underwriting real fast. This is, again, the Computer Man Show on KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid 90.7 FM, and online at ksqd.org. Stick around here. We're going to just listen to a couple quick underwriters and we'll be back into it with I got more stuff, packets of things that we're going to be talking about, and your calls at 831-900-5773. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Community radio gives you, whenever I turn it on in the car, I don't know what's going to be. It's going to be, and it's just a really refreshing thing. And I'm always hearing incredible stuff. And K-Squid doesn't have this mainstream sort of flavor to it. It reaches a lot of political spectrum that I really appreciate.
KSQD is proud to be a part of Santa Cruz Gives, a community funding site that channels money towards local nonprofits. Your donation helps sustain our operations and it qualifies us for additional funds. The more donations we collect, the more money we get from Santa Cruz Gives. Help us remain many voices, one station. Click on santacruzgives.org/KSQD. That's santacruzgives.org/KSQD.
Get K-Squid's new mobile app and never be without your squid. Find out what's playing, browse our podcasts, text us quickly, record a comment, and groove to the tunes. Download the KSQD mobile app for iOS or Android at ksqd.org or in your app store.
My name is Luigi Oppido, owner-operator of Pleasure Point Computers and the host of the Computer Man Show, a one-hour call-in show Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Viruses, slowdowns, scams, and updates. Computers can be a pain, and I'll help you through it.
Send me an email with your request. If it's hardware you want, baby, I'm the best. I'm the computer.
If it has an on switch, we'll probably talk about it on the Computer Man Show Tuesdays at 6 p.m. only on KSQD 90.7 FM Santa Cruz.
Get into a computer.
Hi, I'm Bobby Bishop, host of Be in the Night, bring you the best I can with jazz, love songs, and soul. Join me on Tuesday evenings from 7 to 10 p.m., playing the classics straight ahead and introducing you to the latest artists and composers. That's Tuesday nights from 7 to 10 p.m. right here on listener-supported KSQD 90.7 FM, Santa Cruz.
Yes, and if you're a listener here at the amazing KSQD and ksqd.org, then you know that Bobby B and B in the Night will let all that computer nonsense out of your brain. So we can listen to the show and get all packed in with all that stuff and then just let it all go with some jazz. Coming up with B in the Night. One of the best shows we have here. We have so many best shows, but one of the best. And our jazz nights are awesome. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, 7 to 10 is jazz here at K-Squid, and it's so good, so good. So let Bobby B soothe you away all this computer nonsense and let it come up. All you got to do is just sit there and let it happen. It's coming up at 7 o'clock. Be in the Night. Don't miss it. All right, we're going to get back into it here at KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid 90.7 FM and online ksqd.org. We are, just bang that, and we're still talking about computer stuff, and so there was an official, this person sent me this thing as official Apple text message, right? When you go into your text message, you can text SiriusXM or Apple, and it'll go into a specialty type of text message when you're texting the actual company and their help desk. And Apple has one in the same way. And someone was showing me how they wanted to get their AirPods replaced, or they broke. And so Apple said, well, it's going to let you know it's going to cost you $250.11 to repair your AirPods. And I was like, $250.11 to repair them? I'm like, aren't AirPods $199 or $249 or something? I'm like, that's literally more expensive than a brand new set. And so they're like, so the person writes back, so it's more expensive than just buying a new pair. And they said, in this case, we normally advise a customer to go to to apple.com/store and purchase a pair. And so the person wrote back and said, okay, is there a reason why the repair is more expensive than the product? And then the official Apple response was, I have no clue. So I'm going to say, and just from the repair side, granted they're a $4 trillion company, I'm going to say on the repair side to repair iPods, I have AirPods, and some of you out there do as well. I would say most likely those AirPods are designed to go together once. They're not designed to be taken back apart and fixed and then put back together again. They are very small, compartmentalized, tiny, tiny things, and I bet that they go together once and that's it. So to repair them, they're probably doing a lot of replacement. They might be doing repairs, but even if they were doing repairs, I'm sure that's at a very specialized place that has to be sent to, and there's probably shipping involved and stuff, and then those specialized technicians actually take those apart, which would take a while. So yeah, $250 to repair them. It sounds ridiculous, but also sounds about right for the amount of work and labor and then parts and things that would have to go into it, depending on what it is. Let's say if there's like a $45 part, a $55 part. If it's Apple, so let's say they're buying that part for $45, $50, which actually probably costs them like $30 or something. They probably have $45 to $50 worth of shipping in between different places, maybe, or maybe even less, depending if they're shipping giant freight, but it's going to take time. And so on one side, I can kind of see this. On the other side, I say that's stupid. But again, it's just more gross electronic stuff. There was actually also someone asked me if there was a website that you could buy one single AirPod. So let's say if you lost your AirPod or lost one of your headphones, there's a website called The Right One, TheRighGhone, and it is literally a website that will carry singular AirPods. And so if you have you lost your left AirPod, you can buy the first generation AirPod Pro, and it's like $60. So you can buy a case for $49. It's empty, or a right one, or a second generation one, and they have all these AirPods and Beats headphones and stuff. I mean, if I worked at an airport at one of those lost and found things, that would be the way to get all that stuff back, right? Clean them all up, make them as clean as possible, charge them up, make sure they work, and then sell them as singles. It's a great idea, because some people don't want to spend $250 to buy a new one. They have the case, they have the right one, they need the left one. So there you go, buy it for $60, $59, $54, and you're all set to go. So kind of cool. TheRightOne.com, .org, probably .com. Yep, .com. So there you go, kind of cool too. All right, let's see if there's anything else on the docket. Let's see. Yeah, scam, blah, 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 blah. We talked about that. Anything on the new for today? Let's see. Smart status. All this stuff. Do I have one for today? I thought I did. Oh, there it is. Oh, we talked about our Tings last week. They have over 3,000 items for review. Consumer Reports and all this stuff is just paid for. Consumer Reports is probably still okay, but it's not just one you just kind of read and take with others. This one website, rtings, rtings.com. They have 30, as of a couple days ago, they have 3,606 items bought and tested, and it's just another site to add to your research. So if you're looking for things out there and you're looking for stuff to buy, you're looking for electronics, you're comparing television sets, rtings would be a place that you could go and do some research. Kind of cool. Let's see what else. I've got all these packets of things here. I talked about that. We talked about the bank. Talked about all this stuff. Let's see if there's anything else going on. That's Daisy, and then that's our victim stuff for the scams. Blah. Okay, so something kind of a little boring before we get into, but also kind of good because the search feature sucks. There's a new file search feature that's coming to Windows 11. I guess they're testing a file search companion integration for the Windows 11 taskbar. It's called 365 Companions, which basically integrates the Windows 11 taskbar and start menu that makes it, quote, easier for you to spot and finds all kind of detail information with just a few clicks. Okay, so right now if you do a search, like if I type something, like I hit the start menu and type in dog, right now that will show it'll show some web searches, anything that has music in it, and you could do a search results for some of that stuff. If I type the search, and that's the search in the bottom of Windows 10. So right now what they're saying is Windows 11, that search box will also go out and do a whole bunch of other searches in either file locations or website locations, or it could be even metadata stuff, depending on what the machine is kind of scanning for. So it's going to be available to Windows 11 users at some point. It's not yet clear yet. Probably the next few months, but it's going to be part of this usefulness companions that they're coming, companions with capital C, that are going to be coming in the operating system. So looks like something new that I'm going to probably have to fix. So figure that out when that comes across. Let's see. Oh, the last thing before we get into some email questions for the last 20 or 15 minutes of the show. There was the new list of top software going into 2025 what just released, and a lot of it's open source, which is really cool. Like if you're for internet and security, right now top of the list is Windows Defender. That's what we've been using. That's what we switched to. And it is right now the number one antivirus out there. Now, malware cleaners, which were very important, which is always going to be Malwarebytes because they're one of the best. If you have, again, virus and malware, those are two separate things. And we really rarely see virus infections at this point. It's mostly malware still. So get Malwarebytes. If you don't have it already, enable Windows Defender on your machine, and you'll be stoked because you'll be able to combat about 90% of the stuff out there. Get a good ad block like uBlock Origin or getadblock.com on your browsers, and between those three things, you're stoked. There's a ton of software on this list. It's really cool. Like audio converters, still using Audacity. That's great. Video converters are still Handbrake. Let's see. GPS, top one was Google Maps, and Google Earth was good for the map browser as well. But it has everything from like cartoon editors like Pencil 2D or audio editors, which is also Audacity, or even screenshot editors like PicPic, remote access, which is RustDesk, which I also use as well. Fantastic remote access. It's so fast to install, so easy to use, and you don't have to walk a client through something for 30 minutes before you even get started fixing anything. So kind of cool. There's a lot of good software in here. And again, if you're interested in the list, you can always email me, luigi@ksqd.org. I'm trying to get some type of blog thing up, and actually we're actually going to start with help of Christine Barrington, the great Christine Barrington here at KSQD. I'm going to start actually getting my shows up as a podcast. So I have, tonight is show 291, I think, here at KSQD. So I've got almost 300 shows, and I'm going to start putting them all up online. So with little synopsises of what they are, what they're about. So if you wanted to hopefully be able to do a search on some topic that you're maybe looking for, I'd be able to take that and you'd be able to go back and look more than 2 weeks behind, because I've got 300 shows in my archive, so or plus more. So kind of cool. So that's gonna be happening pretty soon too. I will also keep you posted, all of you, about that. And then probably put out a little email blast or something like that, or at least on the show let everybody know that we're gonna be doing the podcasting thing, so you can take me with you wherever you go if you'd like to listen to me, or if you miss a show, you can download it and listen to your heart's content. Pretty cool. Okay, let's get into some of the email questions here, because we got a lot of emails I'm trying to get through, and I would love to do that. So let's start talking that. Again, if you want that list of awesome software, let me know, and I'll get that emailed to you, Luigi, Luigi, at pleasurepointcomputers.com or ksqd.com, either way you want to do it. All right, so this person, this was maddening. So download and install Office 2024 without disabling S mode. Okay, so real quick, S mode in Microsoft's Windows world, or in Microsoft's world, is actually something pretty good, but also something really annoying. So S mode only allows programs that are downloaded from the Microsoft Store to run on your machine. So if I go to a website, if I go to www.google.com or googlechrome.com or whatever, Google Chrome or google.com/Chrome, I think is their website, and I go to that website and then I download Chrome from the internet on S mode, it will not run because it's not downloaded from the Microsoft Store. Now, if I go to the Microsoft Store and download Google Chrome, it'll run. If I go to, malwarebytes.org and I want to download Malwarebytes, it will not run. But if I go to the Microsoft Store and Malwarebytes is in the Microsoft Store, which it may or may not be, I can run it from there. So it's a great way to lock the machine down and really makes it so that no third-party software is getting on this machine. And in some instances, that's a great thing. That would lock down a lot of problems, etc. Granted, you're still going to be able to download things, but not really run stuff. So it works. It's pretty good. But it also locks it down so much that a lot of times you get stifled and you can't do certain things. So you're so protected, you're stuck, right? One of those things. So this person wrote and said, I'd like to download and install Office 2024 without disabling S mode. You can download a patch that will actually turn off S mode and turn the computer back into a normal Windows 11 or 10, whatever one you're using, and you can then download any program online and use it as much as you want. That's just one of the ways. So with this, though, they're saying, I want to disable S mode. And you're like, well, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Well, isn't Office 2024 on the Microsoft Store, and it's not. It's at office.com/setup. So let's see how this goes. It says, I'm looking to buy a laptop for my parents, and the one they're interested in is a Windows 11 S mode, or Windows 11 S. I keep calling it S mode. I understand that in S mode, you can only download and install apps from the Microsoft Store. Yes. Can you verify if Office 2024, not Office 365, is available for Windows 11 S users? I don't want to disable S mode for them just to download Office 2024, and they want the one-time fee Office 2024. They're not interested in subscription 365. Okay, so I asked Microsoft. Microsoft has their Copilot, which you're now seeing on all these machines now. I went on to Copilot and just asked real quick to say, hey, is Microsoft Office 2024 compatible with Windows S Mode? And it says S Mode only allows apps from the Microsoft Store to be installed, and Office 2024 needs to be installed from the Microsoft Store. If you want to install Office 2024 on a device in S Mode, you'll need to switch out of S Mode first. And I went, I'm sorry, wait a minute. Let me read that again. I'm like, wait, I'm sorry. What did you tell me, Mr. Computer? It says S Mode only allows apps from the Microsoft Store to be installed. Okay, we understand that. That's what S Mode is. Okay. Office 2024 needs to be installed from the Microsoft Store. Okay, that would make sense. Office 2024 needs to be installed from the Microsoft Store on an S Mode computer because S Mode only allows people from the Microsoft Store. Okay, we're learning. Okay, cool. Okay, good. Okay. If you want to install Office 2024 on a device in S Mode, you'll need to switch out of S Mode first. So that, in its convoluted, backwards way of telling me in AI speak, is that Office 2024 is not one of the Windows Store options. They do not sell it on the Windows Store. And that is totally Microsoft. Why is it totally Microsoft? Because that's a one-time purchase. Microsoft's not about one-time purchases right now. They're about subscriptions. Everything is about subscriptions right now. Everything. So if you want something that you're gonna be able to find out on S Mode with that, they want you to do it over and over again. And of course, if you want to get something like LibreOffice, which is 100% free and does everything that Office does for completely free, you don't have to pay for it ever, that's not going to run either because it's a program from the website. So that's also not going to run in S Mode. So guess what? If you're in S Mode and you want to load something like that and you want Office, you're stuck by buying Microsoft's Office 365, which I believe is available on the Microsoft Store, or it's already preloaded on your machine, and you have to purchase it through your Apple ID. Now, actually, just thought of that. That's another option. You buy a new machine, and you start it up, and it has a lot of software on it already. A lot of times, you have Word and Excel already on the machine. But it says, hey, in order to use this, you have to activate it. You have to turn it on. You have to do your thing. I believe they used to do this. They might not do it anymore, but they may do this still. I believe that they would, by doing it that way, by not going online, buying it first or anything, but just turning on your brand new computer and starting up Word like it's there, and then it says, hey, you have to buy me. And you go, okay, I'll buy you. And it takes you to the website. And I believe the website gives you the option of Office 365 or the one-time purchase of like $139 and you own Office, that version of Office, until it doesn't work anymore. I believe there was that option. If not, then they've taken that away, and that's really screwed up. But what a confusing answer. Thank you, AI. Thank you so much. Okay, next one. Oh, these ones were like put together, and it was good. I mean, I don't want, there's nothing to make fun of. I'm not making fun of. It's just more of a like, oh, I've never really been asked that. Since Wi-Fi is sent through waves in the air, if I put a fan behind my router, will it make my Wi-Fi reach me faster? I'm going to read that one more time, just in case you didn't catch it. Let's read that one more time. Okay. Since Wi-Fi is sent through waves in the air, if I put a fan behind my router, will it make my Wi-Fi reach me faster? So I was like, no, it's not going to do that. But I want to answer it in a way that's going to work and that makes sense. So the Wi-Fi is a wave of electromagnetic radiation, right? And so if you think of light, like we're seeing, in your lit up room right now, light is also an electromagnetic radiation, right? If you put a fan behind your flashlight, does it go any faster? No, it doesn't really go any faster. So would the fan make your Wi-Fi reach you faster? No, it would not. But so the other thing that I remember from physics was it was a simple thing that really is a cool way of thinking about it. So electromagnetic waves don't need a medium to travel, right? Like you can broadcast Wi-Fi in the vacuum of space. You can broadcast Wi-Fi in an ocean of air like we have here on Earth. They don't need a medium to travel, right? Like radio waves can travel, that kind of stuff. But a medium can interfere with electromagnetic waves. So again, electromagnetic waves don't need a medium to travel, but a medium can impede their travel, right? So you can have something that's actually gonna mess with or stop electromagnetic waves, like a screen or a grate or a Faraday cage, but no, a fan will not make them go faster, and that's a fascinating question. And I'm cool with it. So any of those questions are great. Luigi at ksqd.org or Luigi at pleasurepointcomputers.com, and I'd love to hear from you. Okay, another one. How can I make a new document system folder on Windows 11? New documents system folder. Okay. I accidentally permanently deleted my documents folder from my PC when I was trying to get rid of OneDrive. I moved all my documents and stuff that were within the folder, but the actual system folder got deleted. And I was wondering if there was any way for me to create a new one. I just have a plain folder called documents, but not the actual system one anyways. I'm pretty bad with this kind of stuff. Okay. Okay, so with that one, what you would do is after you've titled it documents in the documents folder under your username, you can actually right click onto it and point your documents to that folder under the properties. It should see some extra stuff now that you have the documents folder in there. Worst comes to worst. If that does not work and your documents are screwed up and you can't get a shortcut there and you can't make it for whatever reason, you could literally create another username and then just copy your files over to that new username and delete the current username. And now you'd have a documents folder structure that would absolutely be working and would have nothing to do with OneDrive and all that kind of stuff. OneDrive is awful. I literally am removing OneDrive from people's... It's now becoming a service that I'm doing where I see at least one person a week where they bring me their machine with their... pulling their hair out, trying to turn off OneDrive from their machine. And OneDrive it's a cloud system. It's like Google Drive or Dropbox, but it's evasive. It's predatory. They get you to sign on to it, not telling you exactly what's going on, and then they move all your files into it. And then if you sign out of OneDrive, because you're like, oh, I didn't realize what I was doing, now I do, and I want to get out of it. When you sign out of it, it holds all your files ransom and takes them with you. If you dare delete the files from the OneDrive or disconnect your files from the OneDrive, all your files disappear on your computer. They're still online, but they're disappeared on your machine, so now you got to sign back in to get those down. So you have to literally, I created like a 12-step process for getting rid of OneDrive, where it literally involves getting on OneDrive, you turn off your Wi-Fi. And then when you turn off your Wi-Fi, you can pause syncing in OneDrive. As soon as you pause syncing in OneDrive, you actually highlight, and because again, your Wi-Fi is off, so now you're just on your computer. You can highlight all the items out of OneDrive, copy them out of OneDrive onto a normal folder, like documents, pictures, and videos, and all that kind of stuff. Put those into a normal folder. And then when you actually go back onto OneDrive, you have to disconnect OneDrive from your account and disconnect it and unlink the PC. As soon as the PC is unlinked, now you have those files. They're all yours. Oh, but of course, before you had to go onto OneDrive and download all the files to your machine first, because half of them are just ghost files taking the place until it goes online and grabs the file and downloads it. It's wrong. It's predatory. It's screwed up. It's messed up. OneDrive is stupid. It's a dumb thing. And unfortunately, it's really screwing with a lot of people. So... yeah. Okay. So this next person, they said, I don't have a modem. I only have a router, yet I have internet access. It's like, okay. So this person says, I have Verizon fiber. I had that surfboard that they rented to you for a while, but as I accumulated more devices, I prefer to be hardwired, like for PCs and gaming systems, etc. And more devices required a good Wi-Fi signal, like Fire Sticks or Amazon Echoes or smart devices, etc. And so I needed more than what I had. So I bought a top-of-the-line gaming router and a Linksys switch and upgraded my data transfer rate through my ISP. Okay, very cool. That sounds awesome. The surfboard, which is a modem, had a coaxial and a data port. The router only has a data port. So I just plugged the cord coming from my ISP DMARC box and it worked. All my hardwired devices had internet access and my Wi-Fi was discoverable by all devices. I didn't question why it worked. Now I'm looking to upgrade again, this time to a mesh system, and everything I'm seeing says the modem is required for the setup process. Looking back, I didn't care why I had internet, the only thing that was working. My questions are, 1, how do I have internet access without a modem? 2, why is it working without the coax? And 3, if I don't need a modem, can I simply plug and play into a mesh system like an Eero? Okay, so the first question, how do I have internet access without a modem? The fiber optics is your modem. It's a service that doesn't use modems. It doesn't have that. Instead, you're getting a fiber line coming into what's called the ONT, the optical network terminal. That ONT box then takes that laser light signal from that fiber optic cable, puts it into an electrical signal for a typical RJ45 connector. So that kind of is your modem. So now you have internet for one port. At that point, you can then take that one port, plug it into a router, plug it into a mesh, plug it into a switch, plug it into whatever you're going to be doing. Actually, most likely into a router. And then from that, you plug into a switch and then out it goes. If you want to put a mesh system in there, you can. The coax is literally only for cable internet. That's just the next thing. First, it was dial-up with the phone line. Next, it was coax with cable internet. And now you've got fiber. So that's just the next iteration, the next thing. You don't need that other system, right? You don't need the modem for the mesh network system. All you need is an internet connection. What you do is the RJ45 coming out of your fiber box. That's exactly what you need. So, yeah, you don't have a modem, correct, but you kind of have a modem-like thing that is doing modem things that will take the place of a modem in any documentation that you're reading. So anytime you see the word modem, think about that fiber optic box, that ONT, that optical network terminal, and that is your quote-unquote modem. And then you can just add a router to that. That'll split it among the mesh, split it among your router, split it among your switch, whatever you're going to be doing, and off you go, just like that thing was your modem. So fiber is becoming more and more. Fiber is really nice. It's quick. It's a little fragile, but at the same time, it's also not fragile. So fiber optics are really cool, and man, they're fast. So if you've got fiber and you can go for it, like AT&T's been doing a lot of fiber stuff, but then also AT&T's been doing a lot of like, oh, we're going to give you fiber, but actually we sent you a Wi-Fi box and there's no actual connections. It's just taking off the cellular signal, which then turns it into a modem as well. So super weird, but there's a lot of things going on. So. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we reached the end of another Computer Man show. If I missed your call tonight, you can always reach me by email, luigi@ksqd.org. That's luigi@ksqd.org. Remember to tune into the Computer Man show Tuesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. here on 90.7 FM, K-Squid, KSQD. I'd like to thank my listeners and my callers. Thank you, KSQD, Sandy Stone, Harold Fessing, Rachel Goodman, David Gibbert, Jen Sanders, all of Santa Cruz, Secretaries of the Wasp, Mr. Case, Control, and of course, the humble electron. Thank you again, Santa Cruz. I'm your Computer Man here on K-Squid, KSQD 90.7 FM, and online at ksqd.org. Stay tuned right here for Be in the Night. I hope you all have a positively charged evening. Until next time.
I am the computer man. I can do anything you can. I am the computer man. I can do anything you can. Computer man, he is your friend. He gonna help you again and again. So if you have a question or two, he's got the answer just for you.
I am the computer man, and I am ready for questions now. Thank you.
Mr. Computer Man, how much is 2 plus 2?
4.
Mr. Computer Man, how do you spell cat?
C-A-T.
Mr. Computer Man, how do you spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
With letters.
I am the computer man. I can do anything you can. I am the computer man. I can do anything you can. Computer man is very wise. He speaks the truth, he never lies. So if there's something you don't understand, just ask the computer man.
Hi, Mr. Computer Man. My name is Jenny. I have a question for you.
Wait, Jenny does not compute. What is your number, please?
Number? I don't have a number. I'm a person.
A person? A person?